Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning and welcome to Story Time. Thank you for joining me. Happy Tuesday, wherever you're joining us from today. And for me, it is officially my last day of summer before school starts up again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me on Story Time. Glad you're here. Welcome. Thank you. Good morning to you. And as always, please let me know where you're joining us from and who is joining in with you. And we have a special book today. This one is called What Sound is Morning. It is written and illustrated by SNIDER. Amazing illustrations, amazing story. But also just a reminder too for me, because now I will have to be waking up a lot earlier than normal. So what sound is morning? I need to remember all those morning sounds. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. I hope that it won't be too hard for you to start waking up early if you're not doing that to get ready for school. But good morning to you and welcome. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're ready for this one. And we are reading this one with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. What Sound is Morning? Good morning to you and welcome. Written and illustrated by SNIDER. Stay tuned and listen to this one. Good morning to you and how are you doing? I hope everything is okay where you are. Please remember that we're still living in a pandemic, and so let us try when we're going out there to follow the health guidelines. Let's try and protect ourselves and get vaccinated if we can. Thank you so much for joining in and welcome. Good morning to you. Please let us know where you're joining us from. And first through the door today, how are you doing? Abraham and Terry McLeod Kasweka, how are you doing today out in San Leandro? Thank you so much for joining us today. Good morning to you. Out here in Oakland, nice and sunny. I hope it is extending all the way out to San Leandro as well. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Good morning to you, Amanda, out in Seattle. Thank you for joining us. And of course, Nate. Oh, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in. Baby Bia, I will try and flip those pages as quietly as possible so not to wake you. Good morning to you. Marlon, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully when you're watching this later, Marlon, you enjoy it and hopefully you have a great snack to go with it as well. Good morning to you one more time. Nate, Amanda, Marlon, Baby Bia, the Sleeping Beauty, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us. I am glad you're here and it is nice and sunny in Seattle, it seems like. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning. Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Amanda. You are welcome. No, I wouldn't miss it for the world. And also just an update on that too. Storytime will carry on coming on at 11, so you can join in. Not all of them will be live, so at times it'll be recorded ones, but we will be right here every time at 11. And then I'm working in to see when we can do evening reads as well. So stay tuned for those coming right up. Thank you so much for joining us. You're still signing up myself for school and also signing up my own classes as well. So lots of changes happening, but story time goes on. Thank you so much for joining in. And Amanda, appreciate you. Nate, thank you. Chriselle, good morning to you. How are you doing? Clay, Rocco, how are you today? Oh, and great grandpa June is joining us. And Chriselle, Rocco, and Clay, just so you know, I will be in Long Beach around August 19th. So it'll be good to see you out there. I will try and make a visit. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Storytime. How are you doing today? And loving the pictures. I'm glad that you enjoyed and had a wonderful trip. Thank you for being here on Storytime. Good morning to you. We have a great book today. This one coming back after a long time. I was actually looking at it. It's been over a year since we read this one on Storytime. So glad to bring it back. It is a wonderful book. And of course, if you're familiar with it, there's also a companion book called What Color is Night? And we'll try and bring back that one too sometime. But today, What Sound is Morning? Written and illustrated by Grant Snyder. And of course, being read with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Are you ready? Here we go. I know some of you are already familiar with all the morning sounds right now because you've been up early, but I have not. So here we go. What does morning sound like in your neighborhood? What Sound is Morning? Written and illustrated by Grant Snyder and read with permission, published and read with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. All right. In the first morning light, all is quiet. Or is it? Or is it indeed? Listen. Just listen closely. Do birds chirp in your neighborhood? Do you wake up that early? What sound is morning for you? Lights click on. A cat softly creeps. Do you have pets? A baby bubbles and whispers and wind whispers in leaves. A baby bubbles and wind whispers in leaves. Do you hear those sounds in your morning? Sprinklers hiss on summer lawns. Sprinklers hiss on summer lawns. A rooster crows to greet the dawn. A rooster crows to greet the morning, to greet the dawn. Do you have roosters where you are? I grew up with a rooster, a very loud rooster. The silent sun rises. The world wakes up. A man shouts after a zooming off bus. Oh, I know that feeling. Right? Just when you get to the train station, bus station, and it's just leaving. Hate that. A man shouts after a zooming off bus. Oh, not a way to start the morning. Cars and trucks grumble on their way to the city. I live pretty close to a freeway, so they rumble almost all the time. Cars and trucks grumble on their way to the city. Stomachs rumble as they pass the bakery. Oh, yum. What's your morning pastry? Stomachs rumble as they pass the bakery. An old dog yawns awake from a dream. Frogs croak and splash in a murmuring stream. Do your streams near you? Frogs croak and splash in a murmuring stream. A shower trickles, a mirror squeaks. I'm one of those people. I have to shower every morning. A garbage truck clanks down a quiet street. My garbage day here is Tuesday. What's your garbage day? A garbage truck clanks down a quiet street. Are you woken up by the garbage truck? I heard they're bringing new ones that are silent now. Breakfast sizzles, hopful paws, tap the floor. Breakfast sizzles, hopful paws, tap the floor. I am an open field. Oh, in an open field, balloons rise and roar. Oh, yes. Oh, the activities begin. In an open field, balloons rise and roar. Have you been in a hot air balloon before? Today is a melody still to be written. Today is a tune no one's heard before. How about that? Today is a melody still to be written. Today is a tune no one's heard before. So greet the new day with a stretch and a yawn. Throw open the window. So greet the new day with a stretch and a yawn. Throw open the window. And fill the world with your song. Yes, indeed. Fill the world with your song. The end. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I hope you enjoyed that one. What Sound is Morning, written and illustrated by Grant SNIDER. It is a beautiful book, and similarly beautiful, What Color is Night. If you can go back to those and check them out, or if you can, look for them at your local library and enjoy them. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I hope that got you thinking about what your morning is like. Maybe what your evening is like, or your day. I know it is late in the day for some of you, but for me here, it is kind of just starting. Woke up late and here, so enjoying it. Definitely reminders of what my mornings sound like. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I am glad you are here and enjoying that story with me. Good morning to you one more time. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing? Anna Lima, it has been a minute. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining in. I am glad you're back and happy that you got to travel home. I hope you enjoyed that trip. Thank you so much, Anna. Good to see you. And you say, Grandpa had roosters. I miss the sounds in the morning. Oh, absolutely. I don't know if I miss the sounds of my rooster because it was right by my window where it would make its noise in the morning. So mixed feelings on that one, but absolutely hear you. We did have roosters growing up. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you. Oh, Amanda, you are very welcome. Thank you. Absolutely. I plan to enjoy it, plan to relax, catch up on a few things, and definitely getting ready for that school year. I have fourth graders this coming year, so excited about that. Some of them were my kids when they were in first grade, so excited, extra excited for that as well. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you're here. And look who's back. Oh my goodness. Yes. Good to see you all the way out in Nakitosh, Louisiana. I have missed you so much. I am glad you're back. Wow, Pamela, Courtney, Kevaya, Braylon, and Chad. Good to see you here. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, I hope you had a lovely, lovely summer. Thank you so much for joining in. And today was my last day of summer break. I'll be back in school, but story time continues. Please log in. We will be here every day, and I will be giving information about when I will be doing evening live. So we'll be letting you know on that. But for now, please enjoy. Welcome back, Kavaya, Braylon, and Chad. good to see you here. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you are here. Oh my goodness. To everybody that was joining in today on Storytime, I hope you enjoyed it. A wonderful book indeed by Grant Snyder, What Sound is Morning. Thank you so much for being here. I am glad you are here with me to enjoy this one. And baby Bia, the sleeping beauty today, please enjoy your nap. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Your spirit was here with us indeed. It is a great book indeed, Terry. I agree with you. And you say, I love the sound of silence. I am in the morning to enjoy my coffee. Well, awesome. That is great. Good to know about that little routine. Abraham wanted to tell you that he was at the zoo this morning when it was quiet and peaceful. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. What did you see, Abraham? What's your favorite thing at the zoo? Thank you so much for joining us. And you're right close there to the Auckland Zoo. Thank you for joining in. I am glad you got to do that fun stuff so early in the morning. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you, Miss Ingrid. How are you doing out in Patagonia, Argentina? Well. Thank you so much. You say your mornings as a child used to have the smell, not the sound of homemade bread in the country. Oh, Miss Ingrid, that sounds delicious. That is so lovely. I love it. And what sound is my morning? Well, my morning is the radio. Honestly, the first thing that I hear is my radio because I sleep with the radio on. So talk radio. So every time I wake up, it's either someone's voice, one of the NPR people's voices. It could be Mina Kim. It could be whoever is on at that time. But definitely radio first. And then everything just... what else is my sound? Yeah, I think radio. Radio is definitely the first thing I hear. I don't hear the garbage truck as much now because I'm a little further away from the street. But yeah, thanks for asking. Good to know. Oh my goodness. Yes. What sound is your morning? What sound is your morning? We've heard a little bit from people and good to know. Oh, I love elephants. Aren't they just majestic? Right, Abraham? Thank you so much for sharing that. And to everybody that was joining in today, I am glad you are here. This book is a feel-good book. It's definitely one that just lets you connect with yourself. And like some people have said, they love that quiet in the morning, that silence before everything, the hustle and bustle begins. And if you're like me, you wake up to the radio, that's something that, you know, that sound that is from your familiar morning. So definitely. And thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. It is always a pleasure being here with you on Storytime. Please do look out, do log in. We will be back again tomorrow with another exciting story. I may not be here live, but Storytime will be here no matter what. It will be, everything has been set up already. So your books, everything will be coming on live right at 11. So tomorrow we have The Keeper of Wild Words. This one is a good one. There's a whole story that Brooke Smith talks about in there. Did you know that books can actually be removed from the dictionary if they're not used, or if the makers of the dictionary people feel like those words are not being used enough or have moved on? So it's really interesting. Some of the words we'll find out that are taken out of the dictionary, and Brooke Smith saves them in this book, The Keeper of Wild Words. Join in and find out more about this wonderful, wonderful book and enjoy it. And we'll be reading it, of course, with permission of Chronicle Books as well. So join me for that one right here on Storytime, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much for being here. I absolutely love it that you are here with us. I see some more. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for joining in. Miss Ingrid, thank you, everybody that joined in today. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day. And of course, as you start the year where you are, if your school is coming back, I hope you enjoy it. Braylon, Kavaya, and Chad, welcome back. I am ready to go back to school tomorrow and see what's happening. But please do remember, Storytime will be here for you. Yes, thank you so much. And I will be in touch about evening reads. I'm looking forward to those as well. Great books await. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Hugs, 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 and kisses to each and every one of you out there. Thank you so much for joining in, and enjoy, if you're a sports person, enjoy the sports at the Olympics that are going on as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Much love. Bye-bye.
It brings to life your very stories with this great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some with people that look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some with people that look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be